If you're looking to support independent fashion designers, this is the channel for you. On a journey to rediscover my love for fashion, I'm saying no to the algorithm and fast fashion, and I'm inviting you to come on a journey to curate our own list of cool, independent brands to shop from. Hit subscribe and let's get into it.
First of all, we've come so far. There's so many more women designers, and I think the runways look more exciting for it. It's so hard not to feel imposter syndrome as a woman in general in life, but when you enter the fashion field, it's times 100. And overcoming that is probably the hardest thing about being a designer. And I hope that I can push this brand far enough to get the recognition that it needs to grow. And that's kind of the goal. I'm gonna keep doing these fashion weeks. Maybe we'll get there.
Today, I'm taking you through the world of Selkie. I am in no way affiliated with the brand. I just love discovering independent fashion designers so I can curate a wardrobe that excites me. Because I am tired of grabbing whatever's at the top of my pile and feeling meh about it. Selkie was launched in 2018 by former Wild Fox co-founder Kimberley Gordon. If you remember Wild Fox, it launched in 2007 and represented a dreamy California aesthetic that became synonymous with Tumblr-era fashion.
I'm Kimberley Gordon, the founder of Selkie, and this is how I became a designer in 60 seconds. I love fashion since I was a little girl. I didn't go to college, so I didn't want to take the SATs. I didn't do great in school, and my first job was at Johnny Was. I got that job because I could draw and use Photoshop. My best childhood friend worked with me there, and we decided that we would start a company, and that was the company that became Wild Fox. We got it on tons of celebrities, and it became kind of a household brand for millennials. About 9 years in, my investor pushed me out of the company, and it was so devastating for me. So I wanted to do something that was regaining myself back. I automatically thought of the folktale of the Selkie. A Selkie is a seal skin woman. She will lay out on the rocks and take off her skin, and if a sailor or anyone manages to take her skin, she has to marry him and become his wife until she finds her skin again. But as soon as she finds it, she's back to the water. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for my skin again. During COVID, it was when I first launched the puff dress. The puff dress blew up during COVID because people wanted something to make them feel good on camera and still, engage with the community through social media. So I really have social media to thank for the growth of my brand. From there, we've just grown and grown, and now we're doing Fashion Week, and that's where I'm reporting from. Thanks, Summer.
So Selkie the brand is very much representative of Selkie in folklore for Kimberley Gordon. It's her return to fashion and creative control. So that's kind of the interesting story behind how the brand came to be. Selkie is a ready-to-wear, imagination-driven brand that encourages self-expression. Her designs are nostalgic, fanciful, and extra romantic.
I'm Kimberley Gordon, and you're at the Selkie show. The casting process is more for me. I'm looking for the most beautiful girls in all walks of life. I want, very, very good models, and I want them to look different from each other. I have a passion for dolls and miniatures, and there are some miniatures in the hair tonight. There's a couple political pieces, the Ozempic table. So I'm really looking for like a doll face and someone who's gonna really create the vision that I draw, and I wanna create a doll that comes to life.
A lot of her designs are truly standout pieces with timeless accents, guaranteed to be the life of the party and the recipient of many compliments. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at her shop. The moment you land on Selkie's website, you're immediately transported into another world. Everything feels dreamy, romantic, and a little nostalgic, like stepping into the pages of a storybook. It's one of those rare fashion websites where the branding is just as immersive as the clothing itself. Across the top, you'll find the main navigation: new, shop, dresses, bridal, and explore, where Selkie showcases their seasonal campaigns and creative editorials. Today we're going to focus on the shop section and take a look through some of my favorite categories. Let's start with the dresses, because this is really the heart of Selkie. One thing I appreciate about Kimberley Gordon's designs is how she borrows from so many different eras without feeling tied to just one. You'll see Victorian-inspired collars, romantic ruffles, oversized bows, corset details, lace, voluminous sleeves, and silhouettes that celebrate femininity in a very intentional way. Some pieces definitely lean theatrical or even costume adjacent, depending on how you'd style them, but personally, that's part of the charm. Fashion doesn't always have to be practical, sometimes it's just meant to be joyful. If you're looking for something memorable to wear to a wedding, a party, vacation, a photo shoot, or honestly any occasion where you want your outfit to do the talking, Selkie is one of the first places I'd browse. The corset category continues many of the same design elements we've already seen throughout dresses and gowns. If dresses aren't your everyday style, this is a really approachable way to bring Selkie into your wardrobe. These pieces pair beautifully with denim, tailored trousers, or many of the skirts and bloomers that Selkie also designs. The tops continue many of those recognizable Selkie silhouettes, but you'll also find more relaxed pieces throughout. There are airy blouses, oversized sleeves, romantic collars, delicate details, and softer shapes that can be styled much more casually than some of the dresses. I actually think this category is one of the easiest entry points into the brand if you're curious about Selkie but aren't quite ready for one of the more dramatic dresses. Moving into bottoms, and yes, Selkie offers just about every interpretation of bloomers you could imagine, but my favorite piece here is the Victoria T-skirt, and honestly, this entire outfit. This is something I could genuinely see myself wearing on a regular basis. I love the movement of the skirt, the layered ruffles, the soft volume, and the way the proportions feel both elegant and effortless. The sweaters and knitwear lean into a softer, cozier side of the brand. These are the pieces I picture wearing throughout autumn and around the holidays: oversized knits, relaxed silhouettes, and garments that pair effortlessly with simple denim. I especially love how Selkie balances whimsical details with everyday wearability in this category. Outerwear might actually be one of my favorite sections. The book club blazer immediately caught my eye. I love the tailored military-inspired lines paired with the exaggerated puff sleeves. It feels polished, but still unmistakably playful. The Copenhagen jacket has beautiful quilting and a fabric that adds so much texture and personality. It's exactly the kind of piece I'd throw over a white tee and jeans and let the jacket become the focal point. And then there's the varsity jacket, which somehow combines a classic bomber silhouette with oversized romantic ruffles. It's unexpected, expressive, and exactly the kind of statement piece that can completely transform an otherwise simple outfit. Finally, let's look at swimwear. The Sunflowers Clubhouse swim dress set is absolutely adorable. I love that it's designed as a coordinated set, and from what I understand, the dress can be removed for swimming. The silhouette reminds me of early 20th century swimwear, not as a literal reproduction, but in a sense that it feels playful, feminine, and a little nostalgic. That's something I keep coming back to throughout Selkie's collections. Rather than recreating one specific decade, Kimberley Gordon seems to blend influences from many different eras into something that feels entirely her own. I also really love the Seaside Cure Plunge swimsuit. The neckline is incredibly flattering, and I think a lot of these swim silhouettes are just really well designed. They feel feminine, comfortable, and like pieces you could happily reach for year after year. If you've enjoyed exploring Selkie with me today, I'd really encourage you to shop directly from the designer at selkiecollection.com. I've also linked the website in the description below. Just to be completely transparent, this isn't sponsored and I'm not affiliated with Selkie in any way. I simply love highlighting independent designers who have a strong creative point of view, and I think supporting brands directly is one of the best ways we can help keep original design alive. If you'd like to discover more independent fashion brands with me, I'd love to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.